This is CBC Windsor News.
We begin tonight with developing news. Automotive parts manufacturer Nemak has announced plans to close its plant in Windsor. They expect this to happen within a year. We go right to the CBC's Sanjay Maru. Sanjay, why is this happening now?
Well, Chris, the company says sales of General Motors' Shanghai plant have dropped significantly, and that accounts for about 90% of Nemak Windsor's total production. Now, Nemak says the Windsor plant represents about 1% of the company's total revenue and employs about 270 workers who create engine blocks. Now, back in 2015, Nemak invested about $15 million in this plant. That created 80 jobs at the time. 2 years later, the federal government provided the plant with $3 million in funding. The intention there was to create 70 new jobs, and many of the employees at that plant, they're with Unifor Local 200. Its president says news of this closure was unexpected.
China's pretty tight-lipped when it comes to their sales and production. It takes a lot longer to find out. The economy is obviously slowing down there, so we thought, just like us, there's sometimes we get some lows and then it picks up again. But we never projected the dip that they've got here right now.
And Dagnolo adds, back in as early as November, things were booming. They were seeing 2 shifts, 7 days a week, but just 1 month later, in December of 2018, the company was hit with layoffs. And as for how workers are reacting, Chris, as you can imagine, they are clearly devastated, but Unifor adds it will look to create supplementary programs to keep workers working in this plant. Dagnolo adds there are no plans in motion as of yet to get that going. And also, Nemak's CEO is speaking out. He says they're deeply grateful for everyone who has contributed business to this Windsor plant, and they're going to try and support workers as best they can. No word on what that support, though, will look like. Now, CBC News did reach out to the Ministry of Innovation, but we did not receive a response before this broadcast. Chris.
All right, a story we'll be following as it develops online and social media as well. The CBC's Sanjay Maru live tonight.